All that I am, I bestow upon you, my chosen knight. I have granted you immortality, so that you may herald in a new age. You will become my force of retribution. Go now, and claim your destiny, Death Knight.
I will go forth, and I will host the rebellion, for I am Nurion! You're listening to The Rebellion, a World of Warcraft podcast featuring Nurion from the Blizzmaster Network and That Random Geekcast, and the precious Day from Let's WoW and Dots, Hots, and Grave Plots.
What? Precious? No!
Welcome to the show! You are not prepared!
Welcome to The Rebellion! I am your host, Nurion, and I am joined by my precious co-host, Day! Day, how are you tonight?
I am excellent. How are you?
Oh, I am excited. We are doing our second episode, and that means, does that mean we're an official show?
I think the running number is 10 episodes.
Oh,
and then you're an official
8 more
show.
to go. 8 more to go. Okay. Alright, so anyway, I want to get right into it, because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We are going to pick apart some of the alpha notes tonight, and this is going to take us weeks to get through all this stuff. So with that, we'll start with our week in WoW. Day, how was your week?
My week has been pretty good. I'm just going to start off by saying that I got to join you and the Rebels of Azeroth on a normal siege run, which is really cool because I haven't actually got to see normal in Siege. And I got 2 upgrades. So I thank you guys for, carrying me along. Other than that, I've done a lot of PvP. Because that's weird, isn't it?
Who? What? Wait, what? You PvP?
Right? I never do that.
Are you sure? Wait, Day PvP'd everybody. Just FYI. Day was in PvP this week.
I was. Some interesting things happened. One of our main we were running a main threes team. We had 3 teams with the same people. So it was myself, Jabcup, and Rambush. Rambush has had to take a break from the game, so we actually lost a major component in all 3 of those comps. So Rob from the Trainee Dummies is filling in for 1 comp. My friend Kyle is filling in for the other 2 comps. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. But it was really fun. So we got to run threes on a Death Knight. I'm an Unholy Death Knight. Kyle on his Arms Warrior, and Jabcup on his Windwalker Monk.
You're running Unholy on your Death Knight?
Unholy all the way. There is no other spec.
Frost was the better PvP spec.
Not at all.
Oh, okay. I know Frost is the better DPS spec in raiding.
It is. 100% it is.
Okay.
If I go into a battleground like, what is that? Alderac Valley or Isle of Conquest, because there's a boss at the end, I do switch to Frost. Just because then I can take down the boss. But if I'm in a regular battleground or if I'm in arena, Unholy reigns supreme. And I have tested both of them in both situations. Frost has burst, but when you have to switch presences, you lose a lot of damage. Like if you're switching to blood presence. Whereas if you're Unholy, it's very sustained, and I just watch people melt away from my dots. It's amazing. I'm really enjoying Unholy. It's definitely the harder spec. Like Frost is a lot easier to understand, and there's kind of like a typical rotation, whereas I'm finding Unholy is very dependent on the situation, like what you need to use. And you also have to like make sure your little minion is doing what he's supposed to be doing. There's a lot you have to watch. But it's really fun.
So what else did you do this week?
I actually also started another warlock, a Lobi warlock on. Jab Cup has a guild on Kelderai called Jab's Little Man, and I started a warlock there, and Jab and I are leveling a warlock priest, and we're actually thinking about going into like low-level battlegrounds and recording some footage, because some of my friends and I have some possible PvP YouTube content coming up. Because I need more things to do.
Right.
So look out for that, because we're starting recording, but it's just going to be like piecing it together and seeing what we can do with that. So, and it's going to be like informative, like going
sweet.
into battlegrounds
well,
and explaining blah blah blah. But you'll see.
Just listeners, remember, she does 3 podcasts. Now she's gonna go YouTube. Holy cow!
But it's not just me; it's a giant team of us that are gonna do some like informative PvP YouTube videos. So
Nice.
it's not just me; there's a bunch of us.
Well, I have been extremely busy in game. I haven't been able to play a whole lot, but the stuff I've been doing in game has been extremely busy. I've found a new hobby. Real people call it transmogging. I call it a hobby. I actually found this whole thing started because I was looking for a transmog set for my Death Knight, because I really didn't like the simple set I had set up. So I was like, I need a really cool set. So I'm flipping through Icy Veins, and I'm flipping through all the plate sets, and I found this purple Judgment set, and I was like, whoa. And I mean, now mind you, purple's not a real big color on my color scale. I'm more of red and black. However, it was a Judgment set that was a different color. I was like, whoa, what is this? So I'm looking it up and I'm checking it out, and come to find out it's called the Penance set. And I'm like, whoa. So it is the Justice set, but it's recolored, and they renamed it the Penance set. So I have, so far, everything except for the belt and the legs. Now, Day, you and I were talking before the show. I don't really want the actual legs part of the set, because it's like a robe, like the bottom of a robe, like a skirt or a kilt.
Everybody wants a Death Knight in a dress, though.
No, no. I want actual pants. So I gotta see if I can figure out like what pants will go with the Penance set and look right.
I'm telling you, look it up and log it.
I downloaded that before the show off Curse. I'm gonna check it out. As soon as we're done recording the show, I'm gonna go check it out and see what it comes up with. I got, and I kid you not, Day, I got the power generator hood for my lock.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is the flaming hood with and it makes your face look like a skull. I have been trying for 2 years to get that drop. And it finally dropped for me, and I actually soloed Omnitron to get it even. And then right after Vodka, my buddy Vodka, he hops on his mage, and I'm like, Vodka, we need to get this for your mage. And I hopped over to my Death Knight, and he met me at Blackwing Descent. And I kid you not, it dropped again. It dropped for Vodka.
So
cool. I was like, that's awesome. That's like twice in a row. So I was mad excited, and I tweeted out a picture of my lock. I was so excited. I love the way it looks. And even funnier, if you want to see it look even scarier, put it on a panda head. I linked it over to my wife, and she was on her mage, and which is a panda, and we popped it on there, and I kid you not, it actually made the panda head into a skull. It looked awesome, and it looked mean. So now I've been trying to figure out what to do with my druid as far as transmog, and I know, okay, a guy that plays a female tune, I need an armor kini.
Okay, I don't judge. I'm a female who plays female tunes, who dresses them in armakinis.
Well, you know,
I
I got a really, really pretty night elf, and I want to see her in as little clothes as possible. So judge away.
Well, I'm judging you.
Anyway.
I'm just kidding.
But, so yeah, I gotta work on trying to figure out what set to do on her. And so, mages rejoice, because the mage hater started a mage this week. A, Draenei mage. And oh, is she beautiful. And even funnier than a warlock lover starting a mage is her name. Her name is Bad Wolf from Doctor Who. The Think Geek guys, or not Think Geek, but that Random Geekcast guys, and my wife have created a Doctor Who monster in me. So I named my mage Bad Wolf. And one of the guys in the guild actually caught the reference as well. And he's got some tunes named, after Doctor Who characters and stuff. But that was pretty cool. So that's been my week. Oh, wait. Oh, I got to tell you about my LFR experience tonight.
I want to tell you something after too, but I'll do yours first.
No. Ladies first. You
Oh,
go
goodness. So, my death knight is actually on a PvP server. And I have not been on a PvP server in a long time. Because I'm not a fan of World PvP, because it's not PvP. Anyway. Sometimes it is, but lots of the time it's just a lot of ganking that happens. So,
Yeah, no, it's not World PvP. It's called Gank Fest.
Yeah, so I was on the Timeless Isle. So that's my first mistake, because I'm on a realm where there's 3 Horde for every 1 Alliance. So,
Wow.
Yeah, and she's a Draenei. And, the first time I got killed by a shaman who was able to shoot me through walls, and I could not get to them, so that was awesome. The second time, though, I was going 1v1 against a Pally, which was fine. The Pally hit me first, so I'm like, get over here! And I was beating him, he was down to 20% health. All of a sudden, there are 6 other people helping him kill me.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that's legit. So this rogue comes up, stabby stabby, then there's a shadow priest, and she's like, Mind Seer. And there was a mage, she was like, Frostbolt, Frostbolt. I'm like, really? This just became really, really unfair. Because I would have killed the Pally. I would have 1v1'd all of them, I'm certain. But, no, of course, they had to just gang up on me like a bunch of jerks. And then they hugged me.
Well,
and then
I mean, the only way to take out the queen of PvP is 6-on-1.
They were waiting for me to res, like they were waiting by my body and the spirit healer that I was by. So I ghost ran to another spirit healer and then hearthed back. I was like, I am out of here.
Nice. Alright, so today I promised my son that we would run some Siege of Orgrimmar LFR. I need to run it on my druid, because I need secrets. I'm on that portion of the legendary, and he needs, he's still working on Sigils of Wisdom and Power. So he's like, Dad, we need to run Siege. Okay, we'll do it tonight, So I get in there, and while we were waiting for the queue, I was on Timeless Isle in Boomkin, because that's my off-spec is Boomkin. That's kind of how I kill stuff, because as a healer, you don't really have a whole lot of killing power. We pulled Iron Juggernaut, and I forgot to switch specs. So I queued in his heals and DPS Juggernaut. And before we got the Dark Shaman, all of a sudden in raid chat, they're like, kick Nuria. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Why? And they're like, you queued in as heals, and you were 14th on the healing meter. And I'm like, well, that's because I was in the wrong spec. Guys, don't kick me. So, man, that was really close. There was only 2 votes left to go before I got kicked. And we happened to have Holy with us on his warrior that he's been working on tanking. And I go, kick me and you lose a tank. And they ended up not kicking me, and I was let's see, on Dark Shaman I was number 2 heals, and on Nazgrim I was number 1 heals. So I was like, take that. Go ahead and kick me. But that was my man. I hate LFR. I do.
So do I. I get kicked for my
So-
PvP gear. Even when I'm top, I'm top on heals, and they're like, kick Day. She's in PvP gear. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye guys.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that was my week. I just had to share that really, really poor LFR experience. Anyway, so on to guild news. Not a whole lot of guild news this show. We don't really have. We just really haven't had a whole lot going on over the last couple of weeks. We've been trying to make sure the challenges are completed. For guild money, we got kind of low on money. And our raid team has started to slow down a little bit. We've had some shifting issues. We've had to shift people in and out. We got one of our main healers is out sick. So that's been a tough spot to fill, because she is an amazing shaman. So we've been kind of on the farming bosses instead of working on the progression the last couple of weeks. So so that's kind of been what we were doing as far as the raid team. We are also looking for another tank. We need a good solid tank to be there on a regular basis. We have 3 tanks, including me. I'm a tank. I don't think we really have like a main tank per se, but and then we have Welby. He's another tank. He can't make it on like every single night because of work. I even miss some nights because of work. And then Pete, he's like one of our major melee DPS guys on his paladin. He has built up a tank set, but he really doesn't like tanking. So we are really looking for a tank. So if you're interested, please contact me. You can contact me via Twitter, email, or you can just look for one of us in game. So we desperately need a good solid tank for our raid team. And that's it as far as guild news.
No, Day works on her Pandaren warrior, who is prot, but also level 26.
Ouch! It's gonna be a while.
I really like warrior tanking
Or 60
though. If I
bucks.
were to tank, it would be on warrior.
Oh, there you go. We could use a warrior. We actually don't have a warrior on our raid team.
Done. I love warrior.
So with that, let's move on to WoW news. Now, guys, listeners, there is a ton of WoW news as far as these alpha patch notes. So bear with us. Like I said, we're going to break down certain categories of the alpha notes and kind of give, our spin on things, and we're going to try and break them apart. I know I've listened to a lot of podcasts that have been very macro with the alpha notes. We're actually going to micro it a little bit. And we are going to get to class changes and all that. But like I said, it's going to be multiple shows to cover all these alpha notes. But the first thing we wanted to talk about is and can I step back for a minute, Day? April Fool's Day.
Yes.
Blizzard, I hate you. I hate you for April Fool's Day. No joke. I woke up to a MMO champion post on this quest chain on being able to change factions with like one of your, like, if you're Horde Tune, you could change factions. And I'm sitting there reading it and I'm getting all excited. And excited and excited and excited. And I even said something to my wife. I'm like, check this out. I could be an Alliance Blood Elf. Because Blood Elf is my favorite race. However, Alliance is my favorite faction now. So it's kind of a no-win situation for me. Well, this faction change quest thing, oh my god, I was so excited. And come to find out, and I may be just gullible, because it was, I don't know, 3-4 hours later before I found out it wasn't real.
I don't believe anything
felt
that's
very
posted on
sheepish.
April 1st.
Yeah, this is the first year I've kind of been into the whole, the stuff outside the game, like forum posts and blue tweets and all that. So yeah, I think I learned my lesson this year. Don't take anything serious on April 1st.
Well, after that derpy Draenei,
Oh, that was so bad.
I was like,
I was like, wait, that's the new Draenei. I was gullible there.
yeah, I have
I'll have to
3
admit.
90 Draenei, so I was like, well, race changing if that's the case.
Right. Yeah, the Draenei hoax, we'll call it, over April 1st was pretty bad, but I have to admit they redeemed themselves as far as the new Draenei model. Now I've been looking at the pictures, and the only real differences I'm seeing is more detail, like in the muscular forms, a little bit more detail in the hair. But the Draenei, Day, you said before the show, the Draenei is a newer model anyway, so there's really not a whole lot to improve on. However, reading in the notes, they improved a lot on the animations, not just the look.
Draenei is my favorite Alliance race, well, at least female Draenei, because I only play female tunes. Just because I love damn curves. If I have to look at a tune's butt all day, it's going to be a Draenei's butt.
Oh, that tail. Can I just say, that tail. Oh. Anyway. And then Blizzard released the Tauren revamps this week. Or actually last week, I think. And wow, holy cow.
French toast. Go to
Yes.
YouTube.
The new Taurens look awesome. I can't wait to see those in game.
I might actually
really
play a
can.
Tauren. Like, if the female are going to look similar, like right now they look really boxy and awkward to me. So that's why I don't have any Taurens. But
Well,
they
they are kind of they're cows.
but
Dave.
they're really
they're-
awkward looking in my opinion.
But they're cows.
But they're less awkward looking with the revamp.
But they're cows.
So what?
They're awkward just because they're cows.
I like
They're
Tauren,
meat.
I just don't like the way they look currently. So
They're hamburgers. They need to be grilled.
I don't eat hamburgers, so
Yes.
that's too bad.
No.
Ew, I guess.
Tauren. Grilled Tauren.
No, gross.
I love me a little grilled Tauren. Anyway, moving on. Did you happen to catch the preview for Azeroth Choppers?
Yes, I didn't watch episode 1 though. I haven't had a chance.
Oh, well, as episode 1 didn't post until today. But I've been trying to get it to play all day, and there just doesn't seem to be the link there yet, unless it's my browser. But the trailer has me so excited. Oh, I'm a big motorcycle fan. I love choppers. I love OCC. The show between Paul Jr. and Paul Sr. was awesome. The fact that Paul Jr. is going to be doing these choppers has me just like doing backflips in excitement. So I can't wait for episode 1 to actually play for me, because I want to see. I want to see. I know we're going to start out by seeing drawings, and I want to see those drawings. I can't wait.
I want to mount. This is why I'm excited.
Well, that's what they're gonna do. There's gonna be a Horde team and an Alliance team, and then we're gonna get to vote on which bike is better.
Team Horde. Oh, sorry. Had something in my throat there.
Alliance. So and the fact that Chris Metzen is on the Alliance side.
Not even no.
What? Did you see the preview?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because he was totally with the Alliance
I
team.
know he is, but Team Horde.
Right. So, no. Oh, come on.
I mean, come on.
No, come on. Come on, Metzen with the Alliance. How awesome is that?
Sam.
The voice of
Sam
Thrall
Sam.
chose the Alliance for the Choppers thing.
This is better. That hair, come on.
No. For the Alliance.
Loktar Ogar.
No! Ew! My ears just burned.
You know that I'm hard.
Yeah, I know. Actually, speaking of your horde, I've been kind of working on my horde paladin. I keep doing Ordos and Celestials with her because I miss playing her. And I'm thinking about possibly moving her. You wouldn't happen to know I'm guild looking for a paladin tank, would you?
Well, I am in one horde guild, and it's Trauma 2 on the Thrall server, and we're always looking for awesome new members in the community. Ding.
Oh. I might have to check out the Thrall server. Anyway, so with that being said, I am super excited for this Azeroth Choppers thing. I can't wait to see how it pans out. And I can't wait to see which bike gets voted in to be part of the game and be a new mount in Warlords of Draenor. Now, since there's going to be no flying, does that mean we're going to get the chopper right off the bat?
Well, I hope that you already have a ground mount.
Yeah, but how do you feel about the no flying thing, by the way?
I'm okay with this. I spend most of my time in battlegrounds where there's no flying, so really not an issue for me.
I have heard very mixed emotions on the no flying thing.
It's okay. I admit, as someone on some tunes on a PvP server, in that respect, it sucks a little bit because it's easier, obviously, to
get
ganked. Yeah. I might just level her first so that at least people will be my level. But other than that, I'm totally okay with no flying. Like, I don't have an issue with that at all.
I'm they said that the reason they don't want flying right away is because they want people to enjoy their work from the ground level. I'm a little bit mixed. Yes, you're right. You see a lot more from the ground level, but man, some of that stuff looks absolutely beautiful from the air as well.
And you'll just appreciate it more once you are able to fly.
It's gonna cost 4,000 gold.
I think a lot of people took, like, Pandaria is beautiful on the ground in the air, and a lot of people took it for granted, being able to fly right away, it looked like.
Well, because it got this expansion got to be more about quick leveling than it got to be about, paying attention to the lore and the storyline and all that. The raiders just wanted to get leveled and get raiding, and get geared up and get raiding.
That's how it is in every expansion.
Including me.
That's how it is in every expansion.
Yeah, but the leveling was so much different in this expansion than other expansions. Like the 1 through 60 was so much faster.
Well,
think about it. You can do 1 through 60 now in the time it took you
now
1 through 30 a few years ago. Alright, so moving forward into the alpha notes. So we're going to start talking about... I'm going to be repeating myself a million times here. We're only going to talk about a few categories tonight, and then next show we'll talk about a few more, and then next show we'll talk about a few more. We're going to start with the item squish. This should be just a quick, a quick category to talk about because, guys, they're not messing with your numbers. Seriously, they're not. It's going to be the same strength, for lack of a better term. They're only moving the decimal point. That's all they're doing. So if you're doing 200k now, you're probably going to be doing right around 20k. Okay, that's all they're doing. It's not going to be, oh my god, this guy is doing like 30k and I'm only doing 20k and, I feel so much lower. No, because he'd be doing 300k at this point right now. So back off, settle down. It's okay, really. The item squish is nothing more than moving the decimal point so that the systems can handle the numbers, really. I mean, Day, you had a pretty good take on it before the show when we were working on the notes and talking about it.
Yeah, they, like the item level and the DPS and healing that we were able to do has escalated so quickly from Cataclysm on that if it were to continue on whatever it's currently on, like I feel that they would have to eventually show our DPS and healing numbers in scientific notation because it wouldn't fit on the screen otherwise.
Nurion squared.
It's like you did 6 times 10 to the power of 7. And it just seems like it would be quite ridiculous if it just continued to go up, 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 up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting... My Death Knight, when he's fully buffed, his item level is 561. And when he's fully buffed, he is at 1.2 million health. 1.2 million.
Yeah, can I just say...
That's crazy!
Guardian Druid tanks in raided Battlegrounds and Battlegrounds who flag carry and cart carry with 1.6 million health should not be a thing.
That's ridiculous. That is so much health.
Yeah.
It should take like 3 hours to take them down.
It does.
Anyway. So that's my take and Day's take on the item squish. Just settle down. Settle down now. It's okay. The item squish will be nothing major. Anyway, moving forward, garrisons. I'm excited for garrisons, but at the same time I'm a little nervous. For me, the farm just became a job.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Like, oh my god, I gotta log in, I gotta do my farm. What's up, guys? I'm doing my farm. 20 minutes later, hey guys, I'm doing my farms. Because every tune, you got to do your farm. So it just got crazy. But garrisons, I think, are going to be more fun and
get followers.
Easier to do.
They'll do your stuff for
the
you.
Followers. I totally feel that is a take from Star Wars, The Old Republic, the MMO, where you have companions and you can send. That's how you work up your professions is you send them off to do missions. You send your companions off to do missions. So I think Liz saw that and was like, wow, what a great idea. And okay, we're going to put that in garrisons. The followers, you're going to be able, I totally believe this is how it's going to work. You're going to be able to send your followers off and do little missions, and that is how you're going to work on your professions. What do you think?
I'm okay with this. If I don't have to do professions myself, I hate professions. I really do. I don't do them. Most of my tunes just don't have professions. I'm the worst PvPer because I don't have jewel crafting, blah blah blah. But I'm not a min-maxer, I don't care. But no.
Well, if you don't have professions, how do you earn gold?
I do many things. I do have some professions. Like I do have max professions on every server I'm on, so I do have tunes with max professions that I can make money with. But not all of my 1290s have professions because nope.
Gotcha. Gotcha. 1290s. I have 4.
I have 3 times as many as you.
Wait. You hear that, Tahu? I only have 4 90s. Mr. A 90 for every spec and every class. Anyway. Oh, and every faction.
Oh, there's no
and every race, I think, didn't he?
He has every race, class, combination.
Where does he find the time?
He doesn't have. They're not all 90. Like he's working on a bunch of them. He does have quite a few 90s.
Right. Anyway, back to garrisons. So I was listening to the interview with Celestalon and Zarum on Convert to Raid. And I believe it was Celestalon that was talking about garrisons and the artificial intelligence and how that's going to work. And I'm excited. The artificial intelligence is actually going to be a lot better and a lot smarter. Like, if you're walking down the street and they're coming at you, they're actually going to see you and go around you.
Oh, cool.
That was how Celestalon explained it. So I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And they're actually going to be like, they're not going to be programmed to go, okay, you go from this spot to this spot, and then okay, 10 minutes later you go from this spot to this spot, and then 2 minutes later you go from this spot to this spot. They're actually going to have, I guess you call it purpose. Like they're going to have a purpose from going from one spot to another, and it's going to be more random. You know, they're going to be going from like their house to where they do their work, and then, you know, go to the bar or whatever, and then go back to the house. And, you know, to me, that's going to be more exciting. That's going to be probably the most exciting part of Garrisons for me, is just the artificial intelligence and watching how much that has changed, how much they've changed that.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. I'm excited for it, especially if they will do work for me.
Yeah, and you know, they said Garrisons is going to be like your base, and I'm excited for that. I want a bank, I want an auction house, and I want the guild bank, and I want I don't want to have to go to the city for anything. I'm a country boy. I'm gonna put mine out in the middle of the country and just enjoy the silence around it. Yes. Please don't make me go to the city for anything, Liz, if you're listening. I want everything in the Garrisons. Anyway, so that being said, moving on to we're going to talk a little bit about the retuning healing. I know, Day, you've talked about this until like your ears have bled.
Well, that's my specialty.
Right. So give us a quick rundown on what they're going to do with the retuning.
What I took from it is, right now, because of the strength that healers have, well, I guess not strength, you know what I mean. We're able to maintain like all party members at pretty much full health with like little to no effort. And they want to kind of make it so it's a little bit more difficult. Like, for example, remember when I healed Immersius for you and you were like amazed at my healing numbers? Yeah. I used like 2 spells. I was like bubble, 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 atonement, 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 bubble, 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 atonement, atonement. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. And it's just... So
what you're saying is healing priests play like mages now.
Well, I was in discipline for that fight, and I didn't have to use a lot of anything. And when I'm in Holy Spec, which is what I prefer, right now, all I really have to do is like circle of healing, circle of healing, circle of healing, prayer of mending, circle of healing, circle of healing, circle of healing. It just doesn't feel as dynamic as it should. Like, with all these smart heals, so it's targeting people who are already low health, and just our ability to keep everybody topped, it's not a challenge for those of us who enjoy healing. And they're just sort of retuning it, so we have to sort of think about what spell we're going to use before we use it, and we're going to have to actually look at specific targets. Because smart heals aren't going to work anymore. They're just it's going to be random targets. So you're going to have to pay attention. Like, you can't just put down healing rain and like spam click chain of healing, because that's no longer going, like, it's not going to target people who need the most health. You're going to actually have to look at your raid frames. Oh no! And figure out where to best cast your heals.
Wait, a healer's gonna have to look at raid frames? Are you sure? Does he do that now?
I don't.
Wow. You heard it here, guys. She doesn't look at her raid frames anymore.
Not in if I'm in a raiding atmosphere, I don't. PvP, obviously, I have to, but not so much in like a raid situation. I know that sounds terrible, but I still do a good job. Because I know that I don't have to pay attention.
I actually, I use Voodoo for my raid frame.
Oh, so do I, but I don't.
So, well, I'm constantly like I'm a druid healer, so I have my right click set to rejuvenate, and so I'm like quickly clicking rejuvenate while I'm mouse overing other spells. So yes, I use mouse over macros for healing. Dave, do you use those,
Oh, yes.
or do you click heal?
I do not know. I
Oh,
used to
okay.
click heal,
No.
but when I switched to heavy PvP healing, I went to mouse over, obviously.
Oh, mouse over is so much faster, isn't it?
It is. That's why it's like if you are clicking and healing in PvP, if you're really skilled at it, I commend you because I can't do it. I used to click heal raids just because. But no, I've gone all mouse over and macros and all that fun stuff.
I use macros a lot.
But I'm really excited about the healing changes because I feel like they're challenging me again, which is what I want.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to have to be more selective over which spell you use and who you heal.
That's why it's exciting.
So,
I
yeah,
am so
that's gonna
glad
be-
that they're changing smart heals because they have that, in my opinion, just dumbed down healing to. Ugh. As somebody who's healed for many, many expansions,
I don't know if you've noticed, Dave, but a lot of the game has been dumbed down.
yes, I have, but it made me really
Just
sad
FYI.
because healing used to be that role that only certain people would take because that's what they loved doing. But right now, everybody's doing it because it is so easy to just catch on
Right.
to it. And that makes it really hard for me because I'm a hardcore healer, I always have been. And it makes me really sad when, I'm having a really difficult time finding a raid team because there are so many healers. And I'm not saying that those people can't heal, but those are people who would, are good DPSers or they really like DPSing, but they just want to try out healing. I don't have a lot of DPS options because I don't like doing that as much. So I kind of felt
Right.
a little bit left out in Mists of Pandaria.
How? Let's kind of move away from the healing thing. How do you? But this is sort of related because a lot of the healers are going to have to do proving grounds.
Yeah.
Just to get into certain dungeons and certain raids and stuff like that. So what do you think? How do you feel about having to do the proving grounds to get to some of the end game content?
Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, Blizzard. Finally,
you're kinda
they're going
echoing-
to test my actual skill versus whether, I could have a 9 million item level and still have no idea what I'm doing. Whereas when,
Right.
especially in a random, if I go into a random, and I'm not a healer, I'm very judgmental sometimes
Right.
because I'm like, what are you doing? Why are people dying? This is a Mists of Pandaria heroic. How are people dying? And I just feel that it's gonna force people to learn their class before they just, do that end content since they're making heroic
Boost
harder
and-
again.
Before they boost and hop in LFR.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because I really like things that challenge me, and I did the proving grounds I did them in this expansion. It was really hard to get gold, but I did it. But yeah, it was a really good test of my skill, and you have to use a lot of different utility, and it really forces you to thoroughly learn your class.
My take on the whole having to do the proving rounds is, it's probably going to frustrate me a little bit, because the only tune I've done any proving grounds on is my lock, my DPS, and I can't even get silver on that, that's making me feel like a very bad DPS. Because I haven't figured out exactly how to do the proving grounds. But I'm a good DPS. So, it just kind of, it's making me feel, I'm trying to search for the word here. It's just making me feel inadequate because I can't even get to the silver. So, mind you, I haven't tried the tanking one. I haven't tried the healing one. But I'm still a good raider, and I'm still a good, DPS. So, just because I can't get to silver doesn't mean I'm a bad DPS. Although, people are probably going to pick on me about not being able to get to silver on
Well,
DPS.
they did say
So,
they were revamping it a little bit, because it is quite difficult. It does force you to use a lot of utility that you don't have to, per se, in like a regular heroic or raiding situation. You do
Right.
have to 100% know every button in your spellbook,
Yeah.
which is what I like, because as a PvPer, I have to know every spellbook, like every spell in my spellbook, because I have to use them all. So it maybe was a little bit easier for me in that respect, because the classes that I play the most and I can use the most, I know them. I tell people if they make a new tune to PvP on it, because you will learn it, you'll be forced to learn it at such a quick pace.
Right. Well, now that a lot of that's going to change too, because you're going to have less buttons.
Not really. They took away buttons and they added new ones, so it's really not.
Yeah, that's very true. But I don't know. They say that the button bloat isn't going to be as bad as it is now. And mind you, as we go down through these notes, I need to remind people that these are alpha, not release notes.
Yeah.
So a lot of this will change. They're not even beta notes, they're alpha notes. So a lot of this will change between now and, we'll just say December, because that's when they said they're going to release Warlords, on or before December 20th. It could come out in June. They said before. I still think, I agree with my wife, actually, that they're going to coincide the release of Warlords with the 10th anniversary. So it's going to be like November time frame.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of how we feel about those things. So let's start picking apart some of these notes. Remember, again, they're alpha notes, so this will change over the course of the year, before the release. So we're going to break into the racials. I've heard a lot of podcasts. I haven't heard a lot of podcasts actually dig into these to, the actual specifics. I've heard them talk, overall about, racials and how they felt about them and stuff, but I haven't heard anybody actually talk about the specifics. So I wanted to start with racials, because there's a lot of changes here, and I wanted to go down through each race, and kind of talk about each racial changes. So I'm just going to go in the order of the notes, which is basically alphabetical order. So Blood Elves. The Arcane Acuity is a new racial passive ability that increases critical strike chance by 1%. So you're going to get a whole 1% crit just for being a Blood Elf. And your Arcane Torrent now restores 20 runic power on Death Knights. So Arcane Torrent, right now, that's just increase your mana, correct?
It silences people within a certain radius, and it does, it restores, what is it, 2% mana, I think? The only Blood Elves I have are all casters, so it's all mana users.
And it does actually, I guess that's up from 15. So on Death Knights, it does actually, restore 15 runic power, but in Warlords, it's going to be 20. 1 holy power for paladins, or 3% of mana for mages, priests, and warlocks, up from 2%. Other parts of the ability are going to remain unchanged. So what do you think about these changes, Dave? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they indifferent?
Honestly, I'm indifferent, and you're going to hear me complain about some of them later.
Okay. Okay.
That one is
Yeah,
kind of like
know,
whatever, like, woo. My warlock
I
gets
like
crit
the fact
strike,
that-
so yay for that.
Right, yeah, I like the fact that, just for being a blood elf, you're going to get a little bit more crit, but it's only 1%. That's not huge. So I just, other than that, I mean, they're just increasing the numbers. So, not huge changes on the blood elf, but, a little bit. Moving on to Draenei. Heroic Presence has been redesigned. It no longer increases hit by 1%. Instead, it increases strength, agility, and intellect, scaling with your character level. And then Gift of the Naru now heals for the same amount over 5 seconds, down from 15 seconds. So that's probably going to be one of your complaints, Day, right? Is the Gift of the Naru is only going to be 5 seconds?
No, it's garbage. That is a garbage racial. Everyone knows that.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just what I think.
Okay.
It's good.
Do you mind
It's
if
good in that it does the same amount of healing over less of a period of time. So if I'm taking intense damage, I can sort of pop Gift of the Naru if I'm away from my healer, and it gives me that little. But right now, 15 seconds. It does not heal you for it's little tiny ticks over 15 seconds. So it's good in that they've reduced the time that it takes on you.
So it's actually a better.
They've made it better, but it's
change.
still garbage.
Okay. Alright. Dwarves. There's a lot of notes here. Crackshot has been removed. That was 1% expertise with ranged weapons. Mace specialization, which was 1% expertise with maces, has been replaced with Might of the Mountain, which is a new racial passive ability that increases crit strike bonus damage and healing dealt by 2%. And then Stone Form now also removes magic and curse effects in addition to poison, disease, and bleed effects. So basically that Stone Form is break free from everything?
Just debuffs.
Gotcha. Along with reducing damage taken by 10% for 8 seconds, it remains unusable while the dwarf is under the effect of crowd control. Oh, my favorite 2 words, crowd control.
This is okay. Can I just talk about something for a moment? I'm just a little bit annoyed because as someone who PvPs, I feel like humans and undead still get their free trinket, their free movement impairing trinket, which kind of forces you still to pick human or undead over other choices, which is why I'm annoyed. Because they said they wanted you to play what you want, but if you are a PvP min-maxer, you still cannot play what you want.
Gotcha.
That's why Gift of the Naru is garbage. Because I have a Draenei Death Knight and I have Gift of the Naru, but if I was a human Death Knight, I got a free trinket and I could do double DPS trinket and do a significant more amount of damage.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Alright, so moving on to gnomes. Expansive Mind now increases maximum mana, energy, rage, and runic power by 5% instead of only increasing maximum mana. Everybody hates gnomes. Or loves gnomes. Escape Artist cooldown has been reduced to 1 minute, down from 1.5 minutes, so you're going to be able to use Escape Artist more often. Short Blade Specialization, which was 1% expertise with one-handed swords and daggers, has been replaced with Nimble Fingers, which is a new racial passive ability that increases haste by 1%. So basically, your 1% expertise is changing over to 1% haste, which for my little Slap Chop, which is a gnome rogue, that's going to be awesome. That's actually going to be a good change. Goblins, Time is Money now grants a 1% increase to haste, up from only attack speed and spell haste. Wait,
They are
haste and spell
they're
haste.
combining attack speed and spell haste to just haste, so they're kind of taking away
Gotcha.
the extra words.
Gotcha.
So everybody's gonna have haste
Okay.
versus casters being different from melee.
All right, understandable. Humans, mace specialization has been removed. Sword specialization has been removed. The human spirit has been redesigned. It no longer increases spirit by 3%. It now increases 2 secondary stats by an amount scaling with character level. You can choose which 2 secondary stats it increases. This has not yet been implemented.
And every man for
Not
himself
sure
remains
exactly.
unchanged. Thank you, Blizzard. I don't play humans, so
Yeah,
I'm a little bit bitter. I don't like the way they look. I don't play a fantasy
Right.
game to play a human. I might be weird,
Right.
but... Sorry, Day gets very
every-
hostile when it comes to human stuff.
No.
Oh, I know that I do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I honestly shouldn't complain
Um,
that my Death Knight is denied because she has, like, Desecrated Ground and Lichborn, and she has a bunch of trinkets, so I should stop complaining.
Nice. Alright, Night Owls. Quickness now also increases movement speed by 2%, in addition to increasing dodge by 2%. Wait, I thought they were removing dodge and parry.
I don't remember. There's so many
Yeah.
words!
They're removing dodge and parry as far as I knew. Touch of Elune is a new passive ability which increases haste by 1% at night and crit by 1% during the day. So if you raid during the day, you get crit. If you raid at night, you get haste. Just FYI. On to Orcs. Axe specialization has been removed. Command now increases pet damage by 1% down from 2. And hardiness now reduces the duration of stun effects by 10% down from 15%. Ooh, you're gonna hate that one, huh,
I have
Dad?
an orc.
You have an orc.
Yep.
Yes.
My shaman is an
So-
orc who PvPs, so that's okay with me.
You get less hardiness now.
Well, I'm okay with this. that wasn't like a game changer, in my opinion.
Right. Alright. I'm trying to get you going here.
Oh, I already
you
did. You heard the hostility in my voice.
Wait, that was hostile?
Oh, about my QQing about humans versus other things.
Okay, if that was hostile, I will take hostile. Anyway, Tauren. Brawn is a new racial passive ability that increases crit bonus damage and healing done by 2%. Endurance now increases stamina by an amount scaling with character level instead of increasing base health by 5%. So your stamina is going to scale with your character level. That's not a bad change. That's cool. Trolls. Yaman. Berserking now increases haste by 15%, down from 20. Beast Slaying now increases XP earned from killing beasts by 20% instead of increasing damage dealt versus beasts by 5%. So basically trolls are going to level faster.
I have
Like
many
20%.
trolls, man. It's my favorite horde race.
And Deadeye has been removed. Undead. Will of the Forsaken's cooldown has been increased to 3 minutes, up from 2
This bothers
minutes.
me too.
And Undead can now breathe underwater indefinitely. Wait. They can breathe underwater indefinitely. Wait, Undead breathe?
Right? I don't understand why
skeletons.
we have
Why do they
breath
breathe?
anyway. My idea for this is for my undead characters, I can now like hide in the water in battlegrounds and like shoot them from in the water. So I'm gonna like sit in the lake in Arathi Basin and just pew 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 on my warlock.
That's probably what's gonna happen. You're gonna see Undead, like, the lake in the middle of Arathi Basin, or river or whatever. I don't remember. I don't get in there very
Well,
often.
warlocks
but
can already breathe
it's
underwater,
all the-
so it's fine. But
I know, but all the Undeads are gonna be sitting there going, "Go ahead, walk by. Go ahead, walk by." It's gonna be a camping situation, like on Call of Duty where the snipers camp. You're gonna have undead snipers
I'm
underwater.
gonna make an undead death knight and just like grip people into the water,
There you
just to
go.
annoy them. They're like crossing the bridge. I'm like, nope, grip.
Right? Oh, I have to cry. Symbiosis is going away.
I'm okay with this.
So symbiosis. My favorite thing to do, and Day, you know this.
I do it
My
too.
favorite thing to do with symbiosis is to steal life grip from priests and pull them around. You and Vodka have been, unfortunate victims.
Yeah, but then I
of
just
me
run
pulling you
across
around.
and pull you all the way across the room.
Right. So in LFR tonight, I was actually pulling my son around, and he was like, "Really, Dad? What are you doing?" He'd be, and then like I said, Holy was tanking, and on Dark Shaman, he started running, or no, it was Nazgrim. I'm sorry. He started running in. He was gonna pull the boss, and I life gripped him back. So I'm sure that probably annoyed the heck out of him, but. My symbiosis is going away. My fun! They're taking away my fun!
Roll a priest.
I have a priest. I think she's level 30.
I have 2 level 90 priests.
I don't know. Listen, I can't play all the classes at once.
But I managed to. I just figure as a PvPer, I should understand every class so I know how to counteract them.
Right.
That's why I have so many characters.
Okay. So listeners, that is all the racials. Hopefully, we didn't have a whole lot of opinions on that, but I did want to break them down so that everybody knew exactly what was
they
going
had
on.
opinions.
I don't know if I'd call those opinions. Yeah, okay, they're opinions. Anyway, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was tanking and the Vengeance versus Resolve. Vengeance is changing into this thing called Resolve, where instead of increasing your damage output, the Resolve is actually going to increase your healing and absorption done to yourself. So basically, everybody's getting a Death Strike. But they've been happy with the tanking changes over Mist overall. But some people were let's see the word I'm looking for, exploiting Vengeance, where they would literally stand in doo-doo and take damage specifically to increase their damage output using Vengeance. So Blizzard decided to make this change to decrease the exploitation of the damage output. Specifically, bear tanks.
Yep.
I hate you, bear tanks. When you can do 1 million damage as a tank, you are solely exploiting Vengeance. I know you are. Because I am on a Death Knight and can't even do 100k damage as a tank on a Death Knight consistently. So, when you can do 1 million damage because you're standing in doo-doo, I have a problem with that. Because you shouldn't be able to stand in the doo-doo while raiding. Anyway, so then to keep tank DPS meaningful, they'll be raising our damage since it would be meager with no Vengeance / attack power, because Vengeance accounted for 70 to 90% of the tank's damage. So here's how this is going to work. Death Knights. The Mastery Blood Shield now also passively increases attack power by 12%. Druids, your Primal Tenacity is now also passively increases attack power by 12%. So basically everything is going to increase attack power by 12%. Monks, your Elusive Brawler, Paladins, your Divine Bulwark, and Warrior, your Critical Block is going to increase your attack power by 12%. And it's all going to be based off your mastery. Any thoughts?
I
Hatreds?
don't currently roll a max level tank, so not really.
I think that's going to change in the next week, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is. I'm making a warrior now on your server. You know this. I have all the heirlooms.
Nice. There you go.
She's going to be a
could
panda.
Also boost. A panda.
Because they make beast warriors. They look awesome. Not so much for PvP, because
You know,
that's
we-
the worst choice. But...
We might actually need a panda warrior for the classy.
And I'll actually level her if you level a healer with me.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to put you under that pressure.
My priest is 30. So, anyway, so that's kind of all the meat of the show for tonight. For this show. And please bear with me as Day and I go through these shows. You know, I think we'll get more natural as we learn more about each other, and I am nervous as can be when we're doing the show. So you know, bear with me as I get more comfortable doing the show. Day, you do so many shows already. I know you're comfortable doing it. You got no problem with it.
Anytime I can talk
but-
about PvP and complain about everything, it's a good day.
Well, is there anything else PvP you wanted to talk about?
I kind of fit it in with the general thing, because there's not a lot of like exclusive PvP news happening right now.
Right. And if you want nothing but PvP news, make sure you check out Dots, Hots, and Grave Plots.
Yeah, we've been actually we're going through the class changes specific to PvP. So we went
sweet.
through Warrior Druid, and next week will be Priest Hunter, so check it out.
Alright, so Day. Should we do some shout-outs?
Let us do some shoutouts.
Should we?
I think so!
Sweet. Alright, so go ahead. You're first. Ladies first. Always, always. Guys, always ladies
Oh,
first.
goodness. Chivalry is not dead. Okay. I just have to give a huge shout out to my BFF of all time, Trap Cup. He's been awesome. He's, my co-host on Dots, Hots, and Great Plots. But he has, just been there for me through all of my complaining and the partner changing. And that sounds bad, partner changing. In regard to PvP, like Arena Comps, everyone.
Day changes partners on a daily basis,
On a daily
guys.
basis, weekly. No, I'm just kidding. And he's been amazing. He is, like I said, probably my best friend, and I love him to death. Also, I have to give a huge shout out to Kyle, or Waldar Warrior on Twitter. He stepped in for a few of our comps, and he has been amazing. And I also love him. I've known him for a long time. Another one of my closest friends. And just thank you so much for, stepping in, bearing with us while we, start to work with each other and synergize as a team. It's been really fun. So, yeah.
Sweet. I gotta give, a quick shout out to, we call him Holy, but his main is Holy Crusader. He actually kind of took on a little bit of the recruiting week this last week, and he's added a bunch of people to the guild. So thank you for that. And we got some new people this week. I actually invited a warlock last night to come raid with us, and by the time he was done raiding with us, he joined the guild, and he was happy to join, and he loved the group, and so his name is Dinky Dean. He's a little gnome warlock. I tried stepping on him, but he kept moving. Because you step on gnomes. Yes, that's what
I
we
have
do.
a gnome.
No, wait, we hug gnomes. Wait, do we step on them or hug them?
Can you hug my gnome? She's adorable.
Okay. and that kind of brings us to the end of the show. Next show, I'm gonna start bringing in some of the guildies to talk about, how they play and what they do in game, what they do in the guild and stuff. And I had to start with my boy Vodka. So the next show is actually going to have Vodka.
We're going to talk about nothing but priests. It will be Vodka and I talking about priests for the whole show.
No, Vodka's been playing his mage.
I have a mage
lately.
too. We'll talk about mages and priests.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Anyway, so he's going to join us for the next show. You guys will love him. He's a lot of fun to talk to. With that, Day, where do we find you?
Well, you can find me every second Friday on Dots, Odds, and Grave Plots, my PvP podcast with Jab Cup. And you can also catch me every Sunday on the Let's WoW podcast with Gambit and Uno.
I know, I felt so bad last Sunday. I had to do inventory, and I'm doing inventory, and I'm trying to get the Twitch app to work on my phone so I can at least listen to you guys with my Bluetooth in my ear, so nobody else had to listen, or nobody else could hear and pick on me about what I'm listening to. Because I get picked on so much because, like, the people I work with aren't gamers, and I get picked on so much about being, like, so passionate about my game.
Oh, believe me.
And especially Blizzard.
When we were at a staff meeting one day, we were talking about where we were going on vacation, and everyone's like, I'm going to Maui, I'm going here. And then my boss was like, so Day, are you going to be in Azeroth? I'm like, heck yes!
Exactly!
So he gets me, but not a lot of gamers on the staff.
Yeah.
But, sorry, we went on a tangent. You can also find me on Twitter at Creature Venus. I also do have a blog, everyone. You can also check that out. I have a lot of WoW poetry. CreatureVenus.com.
Creature Venus. Yeah, we got to talk about that someday. But if you really want to know where Creature Venus comes from, you can listen to Behind the Avatar. Day was on Behind the Avatar, and that was a really awesome interview with
a lot of people listen to it. People I've known in WoW for many years, and we're like, we didn't know that about you.
Right. Yeah, it was. It was
so
wild.
Much fun. Lita's a sweetheart too.
Yeah, she is. She's absolutely adorable. I love listening to Behind the Avatar. And you can catch me, Nurion. I am on BlizMaster.com. I write the Burning Embers column. I am also on That Random Geekcast every other Monday. I'm on Twitter as @Nurion_ROA for Rebels of Azeroth. My email is nurion@blizmaster.com. I'm also on the Draenor US server, as I am the GM of Rebels of Azeroth. Rebels of Azeroth. And of course now, the Rebellion. Of course, you can also reach the show if you want to follow the show's Twitter. We are @Rebellion Show. And you can also catch us, you can email us, rebellionshow@gmail.com. If there's something you specifically want us to talk about, if you want to give us, just a shout out, be like, hey, check us out, go ahead and email us. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Please leave us 5-star reviews, or, give us a thumbs up on Stitcher. And that's pretty much it for the show tonight. Good night, everybody. Play hard, but play fair.
Where's my sign off?
This show has been a proud presentation of the Blizzmaster Network. You can find all the information you need, Blizzard related, over at www.blizzmaster.com. Portions of this podcast were produced by Blizzard Entertainment and used for creative purposes only. No copyright infringement was intended. Background music written and composed by Luis Rodriguez. You can find all his music over at luisrodriguez.com. Go check it out! As always, thank you for listening to The Rebellion. You can find us on both iTunes and Stitcher, and please feel free to leave a review. Thank you.